Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lutendo Diopara. With somebody that I've never shared with you guys, but someone very important, my friend, or should I say my best friend, the only best friend, by the way, who seems to know everything that is happening with me. We met through corporate world, and I think we never let go of this relationship. We actually picked it up from there, and then we seem to be running very well. I'm not sure if it's because we are married to the foreigners. And I would like her to introduce herself, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, no, it's reciprocated, absolutely. And thank you for hosting me today.
Yes.
Or let me say, giving me an opportunity to also add a little bit towards this. So yeah, everyone, my name is Fatima Tandega. Lutendo, as she's mentioned, she is my best friend as well. Yeah, and she's actually more like a sister, to be honest,
Correct.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, so I actually brought her here. Reason being is that we seem to view things similar. Is one person who actually knows which button to press. So I can be the best at that I can be in what I do. And I thought I love her perception in things and how she thinks. That maybe that's why we are best friends today. So I thought I should bring her in some of the conversation that I would like her views in terms of how she views certain things. And I would say the topic is how do you become a cheerleader, or should I say the number one cheerleader of your life? Why do I say that? Is because you are a winner from the creation of you to come to this world, if I may say that. You won the battle of cracking that egg, if I may say that, and you stayed within the 9 months that your mom carried you, and you were born into the world that had people who went through the same process, or should I say a similar journey of creation to come on in the world. And the nice thing is that you were given the same, or should I say, when you came into the world, you had exactly the same opportunities, which is the same sun, same air we breathe, and same of everything. And me and my friend here, we've been tackling it, Uri. How then do people actually come and be the best cheerleader? Should I say come? No, not come. How should you be the first cheerleader of your own life? And there's so many other points in which we have actually kind of like picked what could be the reason you are not seeing yourself that way. And I'm gonna also allow my friend before we actually get deep down into the conversation to share also her own view of this topic. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, I think when you mention this topic, I agree that it's a very, very important topic when you start looking at how you approach your life, right? Because
Correct.
ultimately we are in the driving seat of our lives.
I agree.
And I think, that being said, you said we have the same amount of hours in a day.
Yes.
Same amount of natural resource, if you want to put it that way. But I think we also acknowledge that, there are circumstances around us.
Correct.
That may make the journey what we may perceive to be easier or harder than others.
Correct.
Right. So for me, I think maybe bringing us back to the topic, because we accept that we don't have the same circumstances. Yes, we are all champions by virtue of surviving, being the sperm that won.
Yes.
And then naturally we are then carried into these different or given to be responsible under the guardianship, for example, of our parents.
Correct.
But at some point, from that point in time, we have to take responsibility.
Correct.
For our own journey. But I think as we were tackling this topic roughly, I do think that it's very important that if you are going to accept that you are the master of your own destiny.
Correct.
It's important that you have an awareness of what you allow into your space. This is my view.
Correct.
Right? I think it's very, very important because, with all of these external factors, that are around, it's important that you you work on yourself enough so that you are able to lift yourself up when you need to, you dig a bit deeper when you need to, but also shut out some of the elements that may hamper your progress. So it's multidimensional. I think a lot of it definitely, or the focus of this is more the internal drive.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And we'll aim to address a lot of that. But at the same time, it's also about what you allow in, because some of that can propel you forward, sustain you even further during periods where you find that you may not have everything that you think you need within you.
Correct.
And in other periods, you've got enough, but there might be negative voices outside,
yes,
that may want to hamper your progress. So as part of being your own cheerleader, you must be in control, firstly, of yourself, because it's all you can control, obviously.
Correct.
But also, be that referee in terms of what you allow in and out.
Correct. And also it's important to understand your surroundings, also the most contributor of how you are viewing yourself. Because if you surround yourself with people who are not going anywhere, for example, chances are of you being consumed, of seeing yourself as in like you're also not going anywhere, it's very high, right? And not having people who are also not aware of themselves create the world of people who are aware, when they look at them, they think they're ignorant. But actually it's not them being ignorant, it's also the exposure of the surroundings, the people that are contributing into their life. So I also believe that is also very important to be aware of. I know that if you are already within the environment, you might not know that actually the decision that you are making or how you view yourself, it's based on the perception of your surroundings. So I think this message is also be taken by you as maybe look into that also in terms of what are your surroundings, what are they feeding you, and how is that contributing in how you are viewing yourself. Maybe that's why you're not as confident as you're supposed to be, or maybe that's why you're not someone who think you are number one, you are a winner, because you've been a winner the whole time, no matter what your circumstances or no matter what you went through. But it's important that your surroundings have a look at it and see if it's not your major contribution of where you actually are, of how you view yourself. And again, also it's important to understand what vision of yourself you are creating in your brain, right? Because you are going to leave that out, and then your friends who are going to be attracted, or the people who are around you, will be attracted to the world you are creating.
Yeah.
Right? Because you are what you are presenting is what they are. So they are going to then fulfill your vision of how you look at yourself. So, and then it might not also help you in terms of seeing yourself as the best, because already the world you are creating is attracting what you are, and then not actually helping you to then be someone who sees themselves as a winner.
Limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Yep. I think part of that, being your own cheerleader, is maybe firstly accepting that you have unlimited potential.
Correct.
That's the first thing.
Correct.
And
that
if you still have doubt about that, then that's the first problem. Right?
Yeah, correct. Because everyone has unlimited potential. You do. Everyone does.
Yes.
And then I think the limitation comes with life experience now. Encounter. Someone is staying in Sandton, someone is staying in village, but the potential is still the same.
It's the same.
So it's here now.
Yeah. It's about now, okay, as my own cheerleader, how do I tap into myself to realize my goals, no matter how big, no matter how small.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think also the other thing is when you are creating the vision of who you are, if then currently it's not what you would like to be, or it's not what you think you should be, I think also give it an opportunity to then restart, or should I say reinstall or update the software, the brain software, the mind software, because every devices can be replaced and every app can be updated. Sorry to go into technology, it's because I'm attached to the technology side of life, so that's why I make those examples. But every app can be upgraded, right? So if the software of our own mind, which was installed before you listen to this message, maybe it's time for you to then upgrade the software. Right. And realize everyone have the same opportunities. Under whatever circumstances, background or anything. I can go all the whole year talking about my background because I'm a village champion. I always call myself that. But it didn't define where I am today, because if actually I stayed with that view of being a village champion, I would not be sitting with people like Mo Fatima in Jozi, which I met in Jozi. So it's an excuse to say I grew up in Lipombo village, whatever. So don't even go there. We have been there ourselves. We've been village champion. Okay, English also, we can even touch. I can't speak proper English, I also can't, but I do try to convey the message to you guys, so it can be also an excuse. English has never get anybody anywhere. So yes, my friend.
But just on that, I mean, it's about fully acknowledging who you are, number one.
Correct.
You know, very important. The
Very
fact that
important.
you know, you own who you are because it makes you who you are.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of your decisions, you reference some of the lessons that you learned in your life in that path. So there's
Correct.
no way you and I can have the same view of the world. Myself, having grown up in Lokshi,
Yes.
Negas, in Soweto, I've got a different view. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We've got equal potential, but we've overcome different things.
Obstacles.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, it only becomes valuable when you begin to acknowledge and use that as the power.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
If you choose to ignore your own life experiences, your own decisions, failures and successes at the same time, then unfortunate, yeah,
it's a obstacle. It's a stepping stone.
Absolutely.
It actually gets you to understand where you're going. Because if you just maybe you didn't meet those things, you would have not know the difference. So my advice is that it's not the end of the world that maybe you didn't realize. The fact that you are still alive, it's also another opportunity for you to rethink. So when you watch this video, please reset that button of your life and understand, Hori, the potential is there, the opportunities are there. No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
It doesn't exempt you for anything. On my previous video, I also touched base that feeling sorry for yourself or throwing pity party for yourself, it doesn't change nothing. So it just make you stay where you were. When you wake up the next day, you'll still be where you are. But when you watch this video, think about it. And when you share your life, I think then you attract people who are also going to share you and support your vision, rather than attracting people who are actually going to take you back or convince you that yes, we are nobodies. You will find those people who are relevant with your situation and make you comfortable to where you are. But when you listen to this message, maybe think, reset the button.
As uplift. I like your analogy around the software. I really like the analogy. It's always, it's something I tend to think about myself. Because typically, you know, the hardware, you can even call it maybe the past.
Yes.
You know, if we were to just contextualize
Correct.
it. But every single day, you know, you've got an opportunity to reset, like Lutendo has been saying. You know, you have an opportunity to learn new skills. We've been blessed, you know, with the mind, with the spirit, with the soul. All of those things I have no limits, essentially, right? It's only the hardware that has some level of limitation.
Correct.
And those probably it's our bodies. Even that we can stretch it further. But it's important that every day we are very selective about what we allow into our headspace. you know, and we ensure that, because once you get rid of the viruses, essentially, again using IT speak, get rid of the viruses, update, patch your mind, and what you'll find is that you'll actually firstly you find that you accommodate better applications, right? Because
Correct.
you're gonna run old software here in 2021. Already the world has changed. We know that we are now in a COVID,
Correct.
or during the COVID era. You cannot apply the same principles, from 2009, for
Correct.
example. So you need to adjust, you need to quickly learn, get comfortable with the constant change.
Correct.
And I think that's one of the ways that we can aim to approach life every single day when the sun rises. By nature there's hope every single day.
Correct.
Just a matter of how are you going to approach it on that particular day.
Correct.
And guard your ecosystem. Very,
Correct.
very important.
Correct. Be autonomous, right? Automatic. You can't be just a hybrid cloud, but hybrid infrastructure. You have to be hybrid infrastructure though.
Yes, you
can't
must
be a
hybrid.
traditional
No,
infrastructure.
legacy one side. One side.
Exactly.
Traditional thinking, we can learn from that, obviously.
Correct.
People have spent, and I think that maybe again, we can learn a lot, from people in the past who built those legacy
Correct.
thinking systems, but acknowledge that by virtue of you being born, you can add and improve on that. We must get comfortable with challenging things as they are, not for the sake of just challenging, but to improve them. There is no way that we are still born in 2021 and to keep things the same.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Correct.
So every single day we have to think about, how am I improving the world as it was yesterday? But of course, we all know the only thing that you can control is yourself.
Correct.
So let's work on ourselves every single day. We don't exist in silos, absolutely not. There are environmental factors, and that is where we have to start learning that self-mastery, and we make mistakes. We make mistakes along the way, and it's fine, but you have to try. You have to try.
And when you make mistakes along the way, it also helps you to realize that you were not on the right track. So you need to redo certain things. You need to make a detour, turn left, turn right. Failing is also an opportunity to start all over, or an opportunity to move to the right side. So just remember, guys, you are the biggest cheerleader of your life, and have that in your mind, because nobody else can do that for you. But remember, guys, to subscribe, share with your friends, comment below. Me and my friend, we're about to go and enjoy ourselves. By the way, it's Friday.
Yep.
Bye.
And it's a long weekend.
Correct.